everyone. Kirk Klein here with Hallmark University, reviewing Don Yakabuchi's Marketing Management, 5th edition for Business 5332. Today we're going to cover chapter lucky number 13. Hopefully nobody suffers from triskaidekaphobia. Chapter 13 is social media. So when we look at the social media side of things, social media is going to fall under the 4 Ps again. Promotion. And looking at our managerial checklist, what we've got is what are social media, what are social networks, and what do I need to know about social media ROI and web analytics. The beauty of web analytics these days, real quick, is that just about every platform has an amazing array of analytics. What did you need to know? They probably are measuring it. And they have all kinds of reasons to be measuring it, right? So discussion question number 1. Describe a social media campaign in which you have participated. Social media is easily, I would say, 50% of our advertising here at Cool Tan Wellness. We're about to launch, hopefully in the next 2 quarters, we'll launch another offshoot of Cool Tan Wellness called KetoTrainer.fit. And that will be a social media blitz. We'll try to white out the world with social media on that one. And it's a matter of me being able to pull off some crazy, amazing physical stunts to get people's attention. I'm an ordinary, everyday guy. I work beyond 9 to 5. I have 2 kids, 5 dogs, an ex-wife, a wife. I'm really seriously the average Joe. But I want to be able to pull off some specific physical feats and talk to people about it in a very low-key manner. So that will be one of the social media campaigns coming up in our future. One of the biggest ones that we've done is to boost. We were at one point in time, about 3 years ago, we were the largest liked independent tanning salon in the world on Facebook. And that was based off of specific metrics and the sheer number. We had over 6,000 likes at that point in time, and at that moment in time, no independent had that many likes for their singular location. And I'm not talking singular location of a chain. I'm talking we got one location. So what we did was we got everybody to like our page, share our page, and enthuse their friends to like our page, and we entered them in for a free year of tanning. And that particular social media campaign rocked. We had thousands upon thousands of responses. So really good, very beneficial program, and we'll probably continue to run that probably at least twice a year, because otherwise it gets a little bit old, right? So what are social media? Social media, people interacting and connecting with others via online software or alternative electronic access technologies. Traditionally, customers were recipients. With social media, customers now have dialogue with brands. They could talk to somebody. My wife had a terrible experience with Avis Rent-A-Car. I got on their Facebook page and let them know. It was a terrible experience. Like, she broke down into tears level of experience. And she's not a weak human being. She's one of the strongest people I know. So for her to be that frustrated, whew, big deal, right? So when we think about that one, I got on there, started talking directly with some folks at Avis. They fixed a few things for us and, kind of retroactively fixed the deal. But back in the day, you'd have to get online, you'd have to get on a telephone number, call somebody, get switched from one switch. Nobody wants to talk to you because they know what that phone call is. That little blinky light on the phone that says, oh my gosh, what a terrible time, right? But nowadays, with social media, you can have a dialogue with a brand. And I've gone back and forth with plenty of brands, right? Customers post endorsements and they vent. Marketers have a little bit less control because you can't always control it. In the tanning side of our business, I get a lot of what we call trolls, and they're the folks that are misinformed as to what causes cancer, and they get on there and they start talking cancer and they start dogging us. They immediately get blocked, and I send them an instant message that says, here's all the data, here's the research that is actually in fact valid. Sorry about whatever family member, and it almost always is a family member, that they have some sort of emotional connection to that was afflicted with skin cancer. Now, that's a serious thing, but that's a breakdown in RNA and DNA, right? And then also, if you go to Otto Warburg, you'll find out that there's some, acidic level in their body that propagated the proliferation of that particular cell. So there's a lot of science in there. When I get somebody who wants to get on our particular Facebook page and vent about something terrible and dog us about how we're the devil of the industry, you do have control as the marketer then. I shut them out. We don't need negative. we can generate that all by ourselves. We don't need anybody else's help. So when you do say marketers have less control, you do because you're outnumbered in that moment. Luckily for us, we're not necessarily outnumbered, or at least we can keep up. So media trends. Social media and mobile marketing are growing exponentially. Hello. Newspapers and magazines are declining. Totally. The number of radio stations is growing, but consumers listen less. It's easier to launch a radio station. New Braunfels actually has a secondary radio station, only it's an online station. So pretty neat, but KNBT is the powerhouse. The number of TV channels is growing. Fragmented audience, though, facilitates targeting. Some social media offers very rich, vivid sensory experiences, virtual worlds, video games. They're simple, blogs, forums, primarily social, Facebook, industrious, wiki or LinkedIn, varying commerciality like Facebook has social content and ads for revenue. We run massive ads on Facebook on a regular basis, and we duplicate everything on Instagram, and here shortly we'll duplicate everything on Twitter as well. So discussion question number 2, given the previous slides and a limited budget, how might you promote the launch of a new designer clothing label? You have to have some massively awesome design with the visual and possibly the audio on Facebook. Instagram. Find and connect with the influencers in your targeted markets. Send them free samples, right? Previous slides, limited budget. Think about it. Facebook, Instagram, those are the ones to go with. Get the influencers. The one they have, good buddy of mine, his sister is a hunter. The fact that she's absolutely lovely and very professional and talks about the humanity and the humane treatment of hunters. She has like 70,000 people following her. She's an influencer, right? 70,000. I need to tap into whatever she's doing to be able to help promote what I'm doing a little bit more, if I could find something where she's a good fit, right? So word of mouth. Social media facilitates word of mouth. Word of mouth is powerful and very credible. And going viral, creating a buzz, right? So you can ping off just an obscene amount of folks. My friend Tasha is working on an Amazon marketplace thing. I don't fully understand it. She sends me updates on a regular basis. All I know is their sales are through the roof. She's in the 6 figures. She's one of the legend people. She's given talks for it. All social media, lots of it powered by word of mouth. Word of mouth works well with exciting products, clever ad campaigns, humor, free giveaways, social causes. Gecko has Facebook friends. Probably has more Facebook friends than I do, which is weird because he's a figment of somebody's imagination. But because he probably interacts and somebody's in charge of interacting for him on his behalf, he's probably killing it, right? Extroverted consumers with large social networks. Social networks, sociogram, networks in graphical form, the set of actors and relational ties. Actors may be customers, firms, brands. Ties can be symmetric. Joe and Sally are coworkers. Ties can be directional. Joe likes Sally. Ties vary in strength. Network analysis requires tabular representation, sociomatrix, right? And strong mutual links between actors B and E. B can influence E can influence B, and back and forth. And then there's, weak unidirectional links from C to B. If we look at the little cluster they've got there, F is isolated all by his or herself off to the side. B, C, and E form a group because they have triangular communication. But if we want to get to D from B, we've got to get E involved, right? And when you look at slide 12 on the PowerPoint, you'll see what the difference is there. So in social networks, some members are more connected and influential than others. Goal is to locate highly influential members. Remember, I just said influencers. Induce their trial of products and propel the diffusion process, right? Locating central members. Centrality indices are computed for each actor in the network to describe the position of that actor relative to the others. Who has more weight? Who has more influence? So centrality, number of connections each actor has with the others. So centrality index, central equals many links, peripheral, fewer links, right? So clicks, spelled C-L-I-Q-U-E-S. Groups of people in the network, right? Common in brand commonalities, or common in brand communities. I'm sorry there. Affinity groups, cell phone friend networks, etc. Your clicks are probably the group that you run with more. So if we can find the one influencer within the click, we probably have the click. So recommendation systems, structural equivalence. Two customers are equivalent if their purchase patterns are the same. Used in recommendation agents, right? So results of social media is data of purchase patterns or ratings are aggregated over many people. So customers trust online recommendations. It's more authentic than advertising. I look for the 5 stars. If a product has 2 stars and only has 1 review, I'm not touching it. If it's got thousands and thousands and thousands of reviews and it's like a 4.4, that's not terrible. That's actually doable. I'd pull the trigger on that one. If it's got a 5-star rating with 1 rating, I'm still going to hold off. I trust that thousands, right? Resistance. Conservative. Older CEOs don't spend money on something they don't understand. Don't be that guy or gal. Period. Don't be the one that doesn't understand it. You know, we talked earlier in some of the chapters about my father and his aversion to he's the laggard on the smartphone. Don't be that guy or gal, right? The instant you don't understand some sort of technology, find a young, youthful expert and get them to educate you. It's worth your money. Social media ROI. Social media seems free, but it's not, right? The main cost may be salaries for thought and labor. Key performance indicators, KPIs. Reach, frequency, monetary value of customers, customers' behaviors, attitudes, memory, etc. Pre-purchase awareness for social media ROI. Reach can be achieved via traditional media and measured online. Magazine tells reader to learn more by going to a particular web page. Online and measured online. Web ads, search engine status, media that optimize reach, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Twitter's kind of tough though. Social media ROI, brand consideration, pre-purchase brand consideration. Offer more information to build knowledge and persuade. Use media that give more content, search engine, ad placement, podcasts, post information on brand community, give customer testimonials. Pre-purchase brand consideration, search engine optimization, SEO, consumer search when they don't have a preferred brand. Keywords depend on customer knowledge. To improve SEO, put meaningful keywords in web page title. Order the words with most important first. Google Analytics actually tells you which words are most commonly searched. You can actually look that up anytime. So let's see here. Pre-purchase brand consideration continued. Key web analytics, frequency, number of visits, and number of unique visitors. Duration, time spent per page and overall time spent on the site. Bounce rates, percent of one-page visits. They land, they take off. Conversion rates, when a visitor transitions from a looker to a doer. Did they pull the trigger? Did they take some sort of action that benefits the company and them? Purchase behavior engagement, induce any action that engages the prospective customer. What do they open? What do they download? Do they watch demos that may be available? How much time are they spending on which purchase-related pages? Do they register to subscribe to newsletters? Instead of contact us, marketers prefer forms that capture specific information. Purchase behavior engagement continued. KPIs may include number of posts about the brand, audience build as measured by incoming links, and the speed of that growth. Conversion rates, frequency of web visitors to engage in the focal behavior relative to the number of visitors who come to the website. So costs of the actions depend on the goals. Estimates of acquisition costs, payments for placement in search engines or banner ads, sending emails from a rented address database, etc. Effectiveness of actions can be assessed by frequencies, rates, and durations. So ROI for social media post-purchase. Post-purchase, satisfied customers. Customers may post positive reviews, give endorsements, etc. My wife bought a USB chargeable manicuring dealio for it's a nail grinder for the dogs. Super quiet, very efficient. The company contacted her and said, listen, we'll give you $10 Amazon gift card, bucks or whatever it is, if you'll post a review, positive or negative. And she was like, this thing is amazing, Normally when we trim the dog's nails, they just become sharper. They're just suddenly shorter, right? So may not hurt them as much, but man, when they take off from your lap, they shred you. So that was awesome post-purchase advertising, because not only did she give them a good rating, they immediately got the testimonial. So they're constantly, very aggressively growing their testimonial. So that $10 Amazon card, that counted towards their marketing budget, right? Dissatisfied customers, company can read complaints, address issues, give incentives, etc. My favorite is when you contact somebody and say, hey, listen, I recently bought a very nice vest for my next formal event, whatever it might be. And it came in, and one of the stitches was totally cut. So whenever they opened the box of these things, or however it came, there was a cut in one of the seams. Contacted them. We were able to make a monetary reimbursement. Everything's fine. I still give them 5 stars. I don't know that it was their fault. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. I got my money back, so we're good. Right? How to proceed. Engaging in all social media is not desirable. You will lose your mind trying to cover all that. That's like trying to defend a football field all by your lonesome, right? Some media fit marketing goals and target market better than others, right? Social media require maintenance and constant activity. You have to constantly, you can't just build it. It's not a field of dreams. You can't just build it and they'll come, right? You've got to be constantly engaging with your folks. Right now I oversee the Klein Distillery, KetoTrainer.fit, the True Leader, and Cool Tan Wellness. And that's actually flipped as far as the importance. And it's time consuming. So I have to schedule it. So I set appointments with myself to make sure I'm getting it done. How to proceed again, slide 2 of 3. Companies can learn by lurking or web crawling. Monitoring tweets, blogs, and discussions. There's no shame in copying what an awesome, successful competitor is. Just tweak it a little bit so it's got your own feel for it. Analyzing text on Facebook to understand customers' opinions about brands. Search brands page or search for brand name on other postings. Analyzing content to detect consumer trends. Checking websites for misinformation, right? So companies can actively create interventions, enter online communities, and ask for volunteers for beta testing. That would put you at the top of everybody's conversation, word of mouth list. Experiment to measure the effect of changes in the marketing mix. Measure attitudes, click-through rates, sign-up rates. Use GPS data to track customers and give offers. So discussion question 3, you're a marketing manager for Nike. Discuss a social media plan to learn about your customers. Encourage a trial. So when you think about it, my thought there would be learning about your customers. Who does the most extreme sport? Right? Not a pro. Who's an amateur that does the most extreme sport and does it well? Post your awards here, right? And then create a trial. We're going to encourage a trial. We find out that adventure racing tends to trend a little bit higher than everybody else. We're bringing out our next trial shoe. We're going to make beta testers out of the top 100. Show us you in action on your video. Post it to our Instagram. Post it to our Facebook. Tag everybody and their dog, and the ones that get the most votes and the most likes, you're in, right? You'd be making a killing. Managerial recap. Social networks are an important and provocative channel. Very, very important. Social media are web-based means of interacting with others by posting opinions, pictures, and videos. Social networks are the structures of interconnections among customers that propagate word of mouth. That word of mouth is gold. Networks can be analyzed. That's the big thing, the analytics. Look at the analytics. If you don't get it, find somebody who does. It's easy. Type in a Google search. My web page analytics say this. See what pops up. There's some free education out there for you. If you have the budget, hire somebody that knows what they're doing there. Social media, ROI, and KPIs can be computed with the help of online analytics after the marketing goals are understood. Once you figure out what your recipe is, rinse and repeat. All right, folks, that is chapter 13. Have a great day.